make some response based upon their imagined identity. They don't talk about who the Messiah is.
And there it is.
I'll give you the exception. I'll give you. It's because of how you
identity. But you're saying you don't. But you're saying there's no possible way. You're saying there's no possible way that a person that can claim to be an Ashkenazi Jew is not making it up.
Well, plenty of them are mistaken. It's irrelevant.
So why aren't you making videos saying that, you know what, we don't even know that these people aren't Israelites, these Ashkenazi or Sephardic Jews? You're not making those videos.
And how is it not their focus when they go around the world?
You're not doing that. And I'm telling you, what you're doing in your...
And the brother in the background asked, how is it not their focus? Because Vocab Malone's trying to say, well, I don't attack them for them believing that they're the real Jews because it's not their focus. But the black Hebrew Israelites, you make it a thing pretty much saying you have to be an Israelite to be saved. And then the brother in the background asked, he simply asked, well, how is it not their focus when they go around the whole world telling everybody that they're Jews? When you Google, this is me now, when you Google Jews, they pop up. They live in the land, Israeli. They call themselves Israelis and they call themselves Jewish. So how is it not their focus?
See, what you're doing in your witness, bro, is relations, bro. And it's racist.
It is racist. He's been found out to be a hypocrite, confounded.
Look, hasn't Uriah hasn't he went a while? I feel like he's kind of went a while.
Well, you asked for the back and forth, didn't you?
Yeah, but I want a back and forth. The dude doesn't really know how to go back and forth.
I've been kind of like, I've been controlling it back and forth a bit.
Check this out, Uriah. There's 1.5 million people, according to the best numbers we have on this, who claim some kind of Hebrew Israelite identity in America. That already is you're gonna have where that's gonna rival just the amount of even Jews in America eventually. I bet you. Like we are dealing with an issue that's much bigger than the numbers. I am not obsessed with white Jews. I'm not obsessed with any modern day Jews.
Black Hebrew Israelites.
Because they fall under the condemnation of Revelation 2:9-9. And I don't mean it how you mean it. I mean it in the sense of it doesn't matter who they claim their ancestors. They can claim Abraham all day.
Hold on. But you say that it matters that the Black Hebrew Israelites, it matters who they claim.
Okay, are you not understanding when I talk?
Yeah, but you're just saying it doesn't matter what this group claims about their ancestry, but it does matter what this group claims about their ancestry.
Have you ever tried to share the gospel with an Ashkenazi Jew?
Absolutely no. No.
Okay, so first of all, you're a hypocrite, number one. Number two.
No, he's not a hypocrite because he's not coming from your standpoint. He's coming from a different standpoint of, you know, the black Native Americans and Hispanics are the Israelites. You're coming from a standpoint of attacking us. So you have to defend your standpoint. He's calling you a hypocrite based off the standpoint that you're trying to defend, not his.
If you do, because I have, let me tell you.
How do you know that I'm a hypocrite?
Let me tell you what they do.
How do you know that I'm a hypocrite?
Because you talk about me doing it, you don't even do it yourself. But let me
that
tell
doesn't
you.
Listen, I never approached an Ashkenazi Jew.
Let me tell you what they generally say since you're a novice in this area. Here's what they generally say. Your Jesus isn't the Messiah anyway. He's a Messiah maybe for you Gentiles, but
what does that have to do with
straw man argument? They're not he's not arguing with him about if they claim the Messiah to be Jesus or Yahushua to be the Messiah or not. That's not the argument. He's saying, do you attack them pretty much the same way you attack us? Straw man argument. Just call him out on his BS.
You questioning their ancestry.
Because they're
have to do with you questioning their ancestry like you do Black Israelites.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, hold on. We got your question.
That is salvation issue with them.
No, because their retort, the reason why they reject the gospel is not because of who they think their father is. It's because of who they think Jesus isn't. Hebrew Israelites make the retort of rejecting the gospel based upon some imagined identity. Now, look, this is exactly what I mean.
So you keep saying imagined identity. Prove that. What is your proof of that statement? You keep saying that imaginary identity.
Yeah,
where is your proof of that statement? You said earlier no one can prove that. So
right. So you can't say at the same time that it's impossible for anybody to prove that they're Israelites, but then stand so hard on saying, but you guys have an imaginary identity. You're not Israelites. Well, it goes both ways. if you can't prove it, you can't prove it by your own words, which mean that you don't know. So you can't definitively say that we have an imaginary identity. You have to say, I don't know, which is another form of hypocrisy.
How are you making that definitive claim that it's imaginary?
Okay, what's your evidence that you?
No, that's not what I asked you.
There you go.
That's not what I asked you. There you go. You said earlier, no one can make that claim, but yet you keep saying that that's their imaginary identity.
Yeah,
how can you make that definitive statement?
The reason is
you have no evidence to be banging on those brothers simply because they claim an identity that you cannot disprove.
That's not all they do.
Bro, that's not what I'm talking about. All they do.
Number two.
That's what I'm talking about. All they do. I'm talking.
See, what Vocab Malone is trying to do is he's trying to slither his way out of there. He's trying to make a straw man argument, get you to bite on that straw man argument, so then he could go down that road, so you could kind of get off this whole thing of him not attacking the Jewish people the same way he attacks us, the true Jews. So what I've been noticing watching this whole thing, as you can see, is anytime they bring up or get close to asking Vocab Malone, why doesn't he attack those Jewish people in the land? He makes a straw man argument and he wants to run away from it as fast as possible. So anytime you encounter him, that'll be the only thing that I will talk about. Because he wants to run away from it as fast as possible because he knows that he's hypocritical. And there's some things behind the scene that he's not telling the truth by. So he's trying to slither his way out and get you to bite on a straw man argument to take the focus off your main argument. And what this dude is doing, this elder, let me not say dude, let me give respect where respect is, elder Yera, what he's doing is holding him accountable and holding him to that same point and not letting him slither to any other point.
About that specific issue.
Number two.
That specific issue.
Number two.
Why is it that you question one group's ancestry versus another?
Right.
Because it's all you bring up.
Imaginary, but you never.
You question us and say you can't trace your lineage back to Jacob. But why aren't you going so hard questioning the Jewish people? They're in the land saying that we're the Jews. We come from Judah. Why aren't you going so hard questioning them? Why you ain't making hundreds of videos getting on them? Question still hasn't been answered yet. But when he answers it, it's going to have to come down to race, which shows that he's a racist. He's attacking us because there's a whole bunch of black, Hispanic, Native American dudes saying that they're Israelites. That's why he's attacking us. He's not attacking them because of so-called white Caucasian people saying they're Israelites. That's the big difference here.
Walked up to an Ashkenazi Jew and say, hey, you know what? Let's talk about.
Hold on.
Over my hour, and you totally emotional.
Let's slow this down.
You're not a nation.
Let's slow this down. Like so to clarify, this is why I brought up the issue earlier about the new Jewish population that was found in New Mexico or whatnot, that's being recognized as Jewish by the Jewish community and whatnot, right? So I asked you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Vocab, I asked you if they identified as Israelites, would they be incorrect? You said no, correct? Like that you wouldn't have a problem with that.
Each person, the thing is, each person, it's different for each person. You know what I'm saying? Each person has a different genetic story and a different oral history that they have to look at. So I don't know. It depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends.
So with Yara, so Yara is a member of the YHWH War Machine, okay? And so as a former member of that group, as was GCON can affirm the same thing I'm about to tell you. They do not make identity important for salvation or anything of that nature. They only make it important in terms of nation building with each other.
Okay, well, I guess they're going to something different, so we're going to leave it there. So it's like Vocab Malone's being a hypocrite, Why question us so hard, so-called black Jews? I say so-called because it's not just about color, But the so-called black Jews, what they call us, why question our identity so hard but not question the so-called white man Jews? Where's your videos at on them? Leave it there. Salvation to the elect. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom.